Good morning. Now, this is the continuation of our first class on IAR filters, also termed as frequency selective filters. Okay. Now, the last class we have studied about some what are IR filters, then what is filtering, what is frequency selection, like that. Now, today we are continuing with that. Today we will deal with some specifications of IR filters, just theory, so you can go through it. So, frequency selective filters are specified in frequency domain, just as the name suggests, in terms of an acceptable deviation from desired behavior of magnitude or attenuation function. So, all filters will have an attenuation factor, that is a deviation from the normal behavior. Okay, so the frequency selective filters are usually specified in frequency domain. How they are defined? The deviation from their actual behavior, that is each filter will have a behavioral slot. So how far it deviates from that behavioral slot will be its performance. So the lower the deviation from the actual behavior, then the ideal will be the filter. That's it. Now here the variation. So one specification is that the variation or ripple in the attenuation function in the pass band should not be greater than zero point 0.5 decibel, and attenuation in the stop band must not be smaller than 60 decibel. So that is a specification. That is, in each band, that is in pass band, the attenuation function should not be greater than 0 0.5 decibel, and whereas in stop band the attenuation function must not be smaller than 60 decibel. So A max and A min, this A actually stands for the attenuation constant. Okay, so it is convenient during the early stages of the filter design process to use a normalized filter with unity gain, that is minimum attenuation is normalized to 0 decibel. That is the specification for an ideal filter. That is minimum attenuation constant is normalized to 0 decibel. The filter is provided with proper gain in the later stages of the design process. Now the one that I have underlined here, the pass band for a digital low pass filter is from 0 to omega ct, and the stop band begins at omega st and extends to pi. This is shown in this figure. We are just given a name, that is omega c, omega s, like that. So just draw the figure and write the sentence. Okay, now the transition band is from omega ct to omega st. So that is the transition band. This from this line from omega ct to omega st is the transition band, or and there are no requirements on the attenuation in the transition band. So one specification of IR filter is this one, then this one, and then this one. Okay, so these are the three specifications, and provided there is another terms that are mentioned here, that is the synthesis of a digital filter that shall meet requirements on the magnitude or attenuation function begins from squared magnitude function. So what is squared magnitude function? This is another specification term. It is given by this expression, and here this c of e raised to j omega t is a characteristic function. The magnitude of this characteristic function should be small in the pass band and large in the stop band. That is one criterion. Okay, so we define some ripple factors. So the ripple factor in the pass band and the ripple factor in the stop band is given like this. Then the attenuation requirements can be rewritten in the form of ripple factor. So this is the ripple factors in pass band and stop band. Now we are writing this attenuation constant, that is maximum and minimum, in terms of these attenuation constants. So here this epsilon p n, and that is p actually stands for in the pass band, ss actually stands for stop band. So which are the specifications when you are asked? You have to write this one, and then this one, then a mention about squared magnitude function, about characteristic function and how its value should be, then ripple factor, and finally this expression. So that all will give you a general idea about the specifications of IAR filters. That is in when you see about diode, you might have come across PIV, maximum peak inverse voltage. Some diode specification they will specify, right? So just like that, this IAR filter also will have some specifications. That is what we have studied now. Next is another category, about transfer function derivation. Okay, this is just a different topic, but related to IR filter. Digital filters are often described and implemented in terms of difference equation that defines how output signal is related to input signal. See here, this is output signal yn. Okay, and xn is the input signal. So how this output is related to input is given by this expression, and each of these terms p, q, everything is mentioned here. So this is a relation or transfer function. It just gives us the relation between the output signal yn and the input signal xn, and the relation is broadly written like this, and then each of these terms in this equation. Now this equation, when shortened and when rearranged, we will get this particular equation. And here again we are trying to shorten this equation. For that we are taking Z transform on LHS and RHS, so we will get like this. So this is the final expression for a transfer function. So our aim is to obtain the transfer function. We start with this particular relation, and then it ended up with this one, and again we are shortening it, and we have reached up to this. And another thing is that in most IR field designs, this coefficient, that is A0, is taken to be 1. So the transfer function will again reduce to this. So this is a final expression for the transfer function, and the positive sign indicates negative feedback. So this is, sometimes they may ask you to write about the transfer function of IR filter. So you must begin from here and reducing the equations and finally reach at this expression. Again some explanation is there, but there is no need. This is enough. The next one is about stability. How what about the stability of IR filters? Okay, now as we all know, this we have studied in earlier sessions, that is the transfer function help us to judge whether or not a system is stable. So transfer function actually tells us about whether a system is stable or unstable, and to be precise, the stability criteria requires what the region of convergence of the system includes the unit circle. We have already studied about this. For example, for a causal system, all poles of transfer function must have an absolute value smaller than 1. That is, all poles must be located within a unit circle in the Z plane for causal system. Okay, now the poles are defined as the values of Z which make the denominator of Hz equal to 0. That is this one's denominator equal to 0. This and all we have studied in the class that dealt with the transfer function, that is numerator getting 0, denominator getting 0, so that I am not explaining it again. Clearly, if Aj is not equal to 0, then all poles are not located at the origin of Z plane. This is in contrast to the FIR filter, where all poles are located at the origin and is therefore always stable. Now this is just a note. IR filters are sometimes preferred over FIR filters. Why? Because IR filter can achieve a sharper transition region roll-off than FIR filter of the same order. So if you are asked to write the stability criteria, it is enough to mention up to here. Okay. Then this is actually a description of block diagram, or a simple IR filter block diagram. This is direct form 1 structure. So in your this I am not explaining it much. Why? Because in your syllabus you have to study in detail about direct form 1 structure and direct form 2 structure. So when we reach at that topic, we will deal with it in detail. Okay, so here just I am mentioning this is just a block diagram of IR filter. The Z raised to -1, that is inverse Z transform block, is a unit delay, and the coefficients and number of feedback paths are implementation dependent. So this about the structure and all. This is actually the input, and this is the output. So in detail we will tell when this topic is reached in the syllabus. Okay. Now about implementation and design. This is just theory, you can read through it. So here a FIR filter, the Z domain transfer function of IR filter contains a non-trivial denominator describing those feedback terms. So it is this denominator will have feedback terms Then the transfer function related to IR filters is widely studied and optimized for their amplitude and phase characteristics. So while designing an IR filter, the first thing that we make calculation is on its corresponding transfer function. Okay, and then we consider about the feedback terms. So depending upon that, we make or we optimize this transfer function and the feedback terms in order to get a better result. Then here the continuous time filter functions are usually described in Laplace domain, that we know. Then desired solutions can be transferred to, in the case of discrete time filters, whose transfer functions are expressed in Z domain. So in continuous time functions we use Laplace domain, whereas in discrete time systems we use Z domain. Through the use of certain mathematical, okay, that is when you are speaking about analog filters, we mainly work on Laplace domain because they are continuous time, based on continuous time, whereas this IR filters and all are digital filters, that is they are mainly based on discrete time and they mainly are designed based on Z domain. So when we want to convert an analog to digital, we can use any of these transforms, like bilinear transforms, impulse invariance method, pole zero matching method. That is, in order to convert an analog filter to digital filter, we use all these methods. That is why converting an analog filter to digital filter means you are just finding out a proper transfer function that changes from Laplace domain to Z domain. Okay, so we will concerned about that. Then many other digital filters are expressed here. Okay, so the first thing that we have to take into consideration while designing a filter, whether it can be analog or digital, is first we are mainly concerned about the transfer function, then the feedback term, then the where from which domain to which domain we have to convert, like that. So these are some considerations that we have to give while designing a filter. Now the last topic, advantages and disadvantages of IR filter over FIR filters. What is the full form of FIR? Finite impulse response, whereas IR is infinite impulse response. Okay, now IR filter can achieve a given filtering characteristics using less memory calculation, that I have already mentioned in the last class, than FIR. So since less computation is required, it is easy to implement. Then another one, it has a feedback, hence its impulse response is infinite and it extends for an infinite period of time. This is helpful to meet certain design specifications. So these are two are the most important advantages of IR filters, which we have already studied in the last class. Then some disadvantages, they are more susceptible to problems of finite length arithmetic, such as noise generated by calculations and limit cycles. They are harder, that means slower to implement using fixed point arithmetic. They don't offer computational advantages of FIR filters for multi-rate, that is for decimation and interpolation applications. This IAR filter is not suitable. They do not match performance and they do not have linear phase. So these are some advantages and disadvantages of IR filter over FIR filters. So that's all about IR filters, and in the next class we will study about the design of digital filters from analog filters. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.